Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
We got Craig, Ryan? We're good? It is Tuesday after a 3-day weekend, a long weekend. And all of our guests today, including Craig Button, standing by in a matter of moments. Brought to you by our friends at Basant Motors. This November, say no to the GST when purchasing a new to you vehicle from Basant Motors. Learn more at Basant Motors, BASANT Motors.com. Got Craig? One sec. You pumped for the Grey Cup? You good? Okay. I was going to talk Grey Cup to rag the puck here. Or whatever the football equivalent is. So we'll do that a little bit later. Craig Button joining us now, TSN Scouting Director. Thanks for doing this, sir. How are you?
I call it taking a knee.
Okay.
That's what they call it in football.
Taking
a knee.
Taking a knee.
Yeah.
All right.
Just let the time run out.
I'll write that down. Hey, you're the scouting director. Jonathan Lekkerimaki making his NHL debut for the Canucks tonight versus the Flames. What can Vancouver hockey fans expect?
Well, I would take it in a little bit of a different direction, Donnie. I would say that, like, if I'm Jonathan Lekkerimaki, I am okay. What does he need to bring? Like, the game is built on being a really good offensive mind. He's smart. He knows where to get open. He and shooting the puck. Get open, get the puck, shoot it. Make sure you're playing to your strengths. I know it's easy for me to say. It'd be easy for Rick Tocchet to come in and say, just play your game. Player's going to be nervous. There's going to be a little bit of, okay, I don't want to make a mistake. But you have to really encourage him. You're here for a reason. You're here because you're a really good offensive player. You're here because you have those abilities to get open. You have abilities to finish. Now go do it. Now that's what I would be encouraging Jonathan to doing. And I think he's a really good prospect. Is he going to show it tonight? Everybody hopes he does. I think Jonathan hopes he does. But that's what I would be trying to do. So he gets his first shift. Okay, that's fine. Second shift. As a coach now, you want to be dialed into where he's at and just say, hey, Jonathan, okay, you got the nerves out. Now go play. Go do your thing. Because an offensively gifted player, and everybody's looking for them. And now they have them. And he's done well leading up to this point in time. So now go out and do that. That's what I would be trying to do. I have no doubt he's going to be an NHL player. I have no doubt he's going to be a really good offensive player. We all want it sooner rather than later. But I would just say, here's what you need to do. Now go and do it. And hopefully he can do that sooner rather than later. And that's what the Canucks fans can take a good look at and draw some good optimism from.
And Rick Tocchet has said publicly he wants Jonathan Lekkerimaki to shoot the puck. That's one of the things that he does best. But Craig, hockey players are by and large humble by nature. How hard is it to get past that mindset and just maybe not dish the puck off to JT Miller and shoot it when you're playing your first game?
Yeah, and it's such a good point because again, you want to defer. You're in the NHL. You're sitting there going, oh, my God, I'm in the NHL. I can't believe it. This is what my dream was. Then you're playing with these really good players, and it's human nature to be able to go say, okay, here, JT, you take the puck, right? And again, like I would also, if I'm Rick Tocchet, I would also say, hey, JT, encourage that kid to shoot. Or whoever he's playing with, encourage him to shoot, encourage him to shoot, encourage him to shoot. Brock Besser, tell Jonathan, you got to do what I do, shoot. And so it becomes, we talked about it takes a village to raise a child. Mm-hmm. Well, it's going to take a village to get Jonathan comfortable too. And he's had success playing internationally at the high level. He's had success in the SHL. Now, it's the highest level, the NHL. So again, you're right. Human nature is that you want to defer, and there's a humility to it. But at the same time, just go and be who you are. And I think Rick Tocchet is trying to get him to come in and do exactly what he sees as his strengths.
Hey, Craig, boy, oh boy, what's going on in Pittsburgh? They lose 7-1 on home ice to Dallas, 68 goals against, worst in the NHL. What does Kyle Dubas do? He's got Crosby, Malkin, all these superstars. Oh, boy, what's going to happen there? Sullivan, is he in trouble there as head coach?
any coach that would be there would be in trouble.
Yeah.
The team isn't very good. The team is, and I don't know if we've talked about this, Rick, but you look at the team and they have a really good, successful legacy, and the players, Malkin, Letang, Crosby, the legacy is tremendous, and it's not going to be diminished in any way, shape, or form. But for Kyle Dubas and the Pittsburgh Penguins now, it becomes a case of, okay, is this viable? Is this something that can produce results? I don't think it can. I think missing the playoffs the last 2 years were pretty significant indicators. Last year they made a late push based on the back of Sidney Crosby's brilliance, but other teams had stumbled to allow Pittsburgh to give themselves a sense that they were closer than they were, and they aren't close. They're not fast. They're not quick. They don't have depth. The goaltending's not very good, and everything is problematic. Kyle tried to push the legacy, further along. Like try to have more years extended to it when he traded for Eric Carlson. It's you can't do it. They don't have enough youth in their lineup. They don't have enough depth in their lineup. So I think Kyle has to look at it for what it is and what this is, and whatever our word you want to use, retool, renovate, rebuild, whatever it is. The reality, and that's the other R word, the Pittsburgh Penguins is, it needs to change. Because as currently constructed and the way they've gone about it, there's no easy fix here. And the fix has to be about, like I said, one of those R words. And I think it has to be a rebuild.
Wow.
They have no young players. They have no young players. They traded their picks to try to further that legacy and to try to extend that timeline, right? So you don't have young players in the thing. Your draft picks, you're trying to get draft picks to come along, and you're just not there. And the players are older and not at the same level they once were. So you have all these things conspiring against you. You can put blinders on and pretend it's not there, but that is the reality, right?
Well, another team giving up a lot of goals right now, and it's not good, is in Montreal, Craig. 31st overall in the NHL standings. It is easy to preach patience, but in a Canadian market, it's a whole lot tougher, and you know that, Craig. What are your thoughts on what's happening with the Habs this year?
Okay, so what I would say is, and I'd like you're right about the preaching and everything that goes with it, but I'm going to go back to the word I just used, reality. The reality is the Montreal Canadiens have a really good young prospect pool. They have an unbelievable, when I say unbelievable, maybe that's not the right word, but their shelves are all stocked, but they're all young players. You're not winning in this league with all young players. And this is now the path for Jeff Gorton and Kent Hughes to understand, okay, here's what we have. Now, what are we going to do to strengthen that group? I'm going to give you an example, Rick. Back in the 90s, and it's a long time ago, you were just a kid, and we were in Dallas. We drafted Modano first overall. We drafted Hatcher in the top 10. We drafted Matt Tkachuk in the top 10. We had Yuri Lettinen. We had Jamie Lagermark. We had a whole Todd Harvey. We had this whole group of young players. And yeah, we had some older players we brought in, but we weren't going anywhere. 5 players that became instrumental for our team. And we gave up some pretty significant players to get them. But trading for Joe Nieuwendyk, signing Pat Verbeek, trading for Sergei Zubov, signing Eddie Belfour, and then trading for Mike Keane. We were able to get older, experienced players that were very good and still capable of being very productive to come in and play with those young players. And so now, not only did the young players grow, but the team grew. And I think that's where Montreal finds themselves. So you can be impatient and you can look at it, but that to me is they're evaluating their young players. Now they're going to have to figure out what they're going to do to reinforce that group with older. I'm not talking about 35-year-olds. Right. The guys I just mentioned were not old when we got them. They were good, productive players, and that to me is what Montreal has to do. And that evaluation, who goes in, who stays out. I mean, we traded Jerome McGinley, we traded Todd Harvey, and you know there's a price to be paid there. But you're going to have to look at that in that way. That's how I see it. You're not winning in this league with young players. And I'll just give you the Buffalo Sabres, the Ottawa Senators, and Montreal. If they think they're going to bypass that, you're wrong. You're not bypassing it.
Ducks, too.
Ducks, San Jose is going to find themselves in the same spot. Chicago's in the same spot. Like, you're not moving forward until you get some what I call heft around some of those younger players. And keep in mind too, the younger players come in, and I never criticize the players for getting paid. They've earned it. The teams are trying to get them signed long term. But now, to your point, Rick, there needs to be a return on that investment. I don't think the return on the investment is coming from the young guys. They're going to be part of it, but they need help.
Yeah. And this is music to my ears, Craig, because Rick has been calling for a Canuck rebuild for years.
No.
And a lot of us have said, no, you're wrong, Rick. And look what's happening. Although they haven't had the greatest start to the season at home. I might have gotten that a little bit wrong. Ryan went way over on our previous segment,
over.
Craig, so we got to let you go now, and we apologize for that.
I just want to let you know real quick, okay? I am going to be in Vancouver Friday night for the Giants game when they play the Kamloops Blazers.
Okay.
I'll be there. Let me know. Send me a note. Be happy to get together with you before the game. Would be happy to get together with you at the game if it works in your schedule.
Okay, and you are the president of the Cameron Schmidt fan club, so we'll look for you, okay?
I'm the president and CEO.
Thanks, Craig. Appreciate it.
Thanks.